Hi, it's Delusion Dispeller back again, and this time I'm going to talk to you a little bit about how to stop being the victim. Okay, first of all, one thing you need to realize is that in a lot of situations, we tend to repeat history if we haven't learned from it. I know a long time ago I watched a movie where some kind of great guru said that to somebody. You know, he who has not learned from his mistakes must repeat them or is doomed to repeat them. That's really true. Subconsciously, we tend to pick the same types of people that abused us in the past to relive the situation with them to hopefully get it right in this case. So, if you haven't learned from your past, psychologically you might find a need to repeat those similar situations until you get them right. It's kind of a way to prove to yourself that you can be okay even when you're with these types of people. You have to feel within yourself that, well, yeah, I went through that, but I folded, I crumbled, I got out of it. This time I'm going to do it, and I'm going to prove to them that I'm better than that. Don't do that. Don't waste your time and energy, because honestly, there are some people that are so toxic out there that nobody can live with them. So don't do that to yourself. You're better than that. You don't need to prove anything to anybody by reliving the nightmare. You know, you need to realize that people need to own their own stuff. And everything that goes wrong in your relationship is not because of you. It takes two to tango, as they say. And honestly, I'm a firm believer that in relationships with narcissists, it might not take two. It might be all them, really. So let's talk about how to overcome some of these things that draw them to you in the first place. The way to overcome your neediness and your insecurity, your clinginess, your codependency, being unsure of yourself, self-deprecating, putting yourself down, is to study and learn about personality, temperament, if you will. Learn who you are. Learn what makes yourself tick. What type of people do you like? What type of people are you attracting, and who are you attracted to? Further your education. Go to school. If you can't afford to go back to college, I understand that. Take an online course. With the internet, there are so many ways of going and finding out information. Just keep learning. Keep your brain stimulated and working at all times. Take assertiveness training classes. Victim vibrations that come out of you are coming because you don't feel sure of yourself. And assertiveness will help you feel sure of yourself. It will help you learn to say that important word that so many people don't want to say, which is no. And we don't want to say it because we fear rejection or we fear hurting somebody's feelings. But assertiveness will teach you how to do that in a way that you won't have to feel like you have to put yourself down for being upfront with people. Okay, the best way to not attract a narcissist is to do something. Be busy. Learn a new skill. Read a self-help book. Do anything you can to avoid giving off this aura, if you will, this vibration that you are needy, desperate, helpless, clingy, dependent, whatever you want to call it. Seek counseling if you can't do it in those ways that I just mentioned. Very important. When a narcissist sees you as needy financially, they'll jump on that because you're very easy prey to them then. So in order to combat that, have some income coming in. Get a small job. Learn to manage money. Educate yourself. Learn to be independent. It's one of the biggest counter weapons against these narcissistic people. Okay. Often when you're in an abusive situation, you have what's called a learned state of helplessness. This means that over time, you have convinced yourself that you're stuck. You don't have inner worth or an inner attitude of success at all. You feel like, why bother trying? I'm not worth it. It never works out. Why should I even try anymore? Seek therapy. Find somebody that's going to listen to you, give you a little bit of gentle guidance, and help you find out who you are. They'll give you little tidbits of goals to work on. You know, the Bible says, without a vision, the people perish. Everybody knows, even the most successful businessmen of today, know that if you don't have something you're working towards, you're aimless. You're not going to get anywhere if you're not going anywhere. So find some little goal you want to work towards, something that's achievable. Maybe not, I'm going to lose 30 pounds in a week. That's ridiculous. It's also not healthy. Find a little goal. I'm going to say less swear words this week. Or I'm going to, let's see, I'm trying to think of some examples. I'm going to go next door neighbor and offer to help carry your groceries in this week. Just little things that you can do that are achievable. Don't set yourself up for a fall, but have a goal. Have something in life that you want to do. Maybe read a book every month or something like that. You need to come to a place where you are willing to take calculated risks. Calculated ones. That means don't do anything impulsively stupid. Don't go and run off with the first guy that smiles at you or something like that. Make sure it's calculated. Make sure you sat and thought about it. You know, if I do this, what's going to happen? Think about consequences. Be realistic and objective. But don't sit around waiting for someone else to come along and take care of you and be your everything. That is one of the biggest mistakes, especially in relationships, is relying on the other person to meet all your needs. That's not good, because there is no one other person that can do that. You know, a lot of times I think about some of these songs that were written, like if I can't have you, I don't want nobody, baby, or if loving you is wrong, I don't want to be right. You know, think of these words of these songs. They set you up for a fall. There is no human being that is so godlike as a creature that you're going to die without them. It's ridiculous. The narcissist looks for codependence, so let's break the codependency cycle too. Watch my videos on codependency. Write to me. Ask me questions. I know a lot about codependency because I'm still battling some parts of it myself. Let other people own their stuff, like I said. Stop feeling so obligated to do everything for everybody else. There are some extenuated circumstances, like with an elderly parent or something like that, where you have to take care of them. But even in those situations, make sure you have some relief backup. Somebody else is going to step in so you can go for a bite to eat, or just go to the park and sit and meditate, or read a book, or do something for yourself. Stay balanced. It's important because there's only one of you. When you fall apart because you're sick from being overworked and overstressed, you don't have anybody to take responsibility for that other than yourself. You need to make sure you keep balance in your life, if at all possible. You can't keep doing all the giving, because when you're on a scale and you're giving, that scale's going to tilt. And pretty soon, your part's going to be down here. You will be nothing. You will be a mess. You will be sickly and no good to anybody, including yourself. So it's not worth overextending yourself like that. You can't expect to remain healthy and balanced if you're going to do that with people. Get some type of training. We talked about education. If you can't afford college, like I said, online courses, something, anything. The point is, keep your mind educated. There is something you can do as long as you're living and breathing. Hobbies, get a hobby. Knit, crochet, learn how to paint, learn how to do clay work. If you're a guy, go learn about race cars or whatever guys do. I don't know much about what guys' interests are. Football, sports, whatever. Anything to use your brain and keep you active that will make you less of a prey to a narcissist or a toxic person. Learn about what narcissism is, what a toxic person looks like, what unsafe people look like. Read the books on Stop Walking on Eggshells, Unsafe People, or Safe People. Why is it always about you? Or Enough About You, Let's Talk About Me. Those kind of books. Read those books. I can give you a list of them if you need them, but they're on the internet. Look them up. Learn about defense mechanisms that narcissists and other abused people use, maybe some that you use. Learn how to stop using them yourself. Learn how to be real with people. Learn how to hang around people that are real and not phony. Make friends that will keep you accountable. Join a church, a club. Narcissists love people that have no accountability, nobody to answer to. They can't stand it if you say, well, I'm going to go check that with my friend. That didn't really sound quite right to me. I'll get back to you. Oh, they hate that because they don't want to be found out as being the phonies that they are. So stay aware, stay alert, and stay accountable. Go to Narcotics Anonymous, Alcoholics Anonymous, Codependency Anonymous. Any of those anonymous groups are great for keeping you objective and realizing what's really going on in your life and what matters. Like I said, stay objective. One of the first things that narcissists will strip you of is your objectivity. They will create a false world that you'll start to believe is the real thing. And then pretty soon you'll find yourself trapped in this false world. You won't even remember what was real and what's not. And you need to maintain that objectivity at all times. Don't see a person for who you want them to be. Look at who they really are. Look at what they're really saying and doing. Don't make excuses for them. Don't brush off the red flags. Stay safe. On that note, if you're in an unsafe relationship, toxic, abusive, neglectful, whatever it might be, please get the help that you need. Have a plan A, B, or C. Tell a safe person. Be accountable. Be alert. Be aware. Take care of yourself. You're worth it. God bless you. Stay tuned for my next video. More on overcoming this victimization mentality.